Today, I would love to speak about all those synchronicities that happen in our life, signs, omens, answers, things that in our daily life are coming to us as divine messages. And for all of you that are spiritual people that you are listening, this is quite normal. To observe these signs that are coming around us, at least to observe them, which is the first step, to notice them. But for those people that are not spiritual, they just come in a way as they are like unnoticed. They see something is happening into my life. I've got something, I don't know, gets broken, something gets damaged. My body gets damaged. My body is hurt in an accident or in an easy falling down. And we just consider the happening event as an external thing or just like bad luck. And we see must be some retrograde planet, must be, which is, of course, they contribute to what's happening in the world, what's happening around us. We have to admit that we can't ignore these things and the concentrations of awareness that is moved around us from the universe, from the astrological point of view. But that is not only the reason for something that is coming to our life. First of all, because when something is happening to us, is directly speaking with us, is directly talking to us, is a direct message. It's just like if we need just to speak about something very simple, for example, dreams. Dreams are not just a dream, just a nightmare. They are using elements from our daily life, from our days, components from our daily lives. So they are common elements that we know, people that we meet, so that we can understand something. But always in the specific case of the dreams, our unconscious part is always using people that we know because they represent something to us. So our friend, our parent, our partner represent something to us. So it's not that poor person that we are dreaming, but the representation of that person into our life in terms of skills, in terms of their own personal happenings. So we need to understand something. For example, if we dream about colleagues, our dream is speaking about our working situations for which we need to understand something. And in the same way, the universe is also allowing us to understand messages that are bespoke to us. That's why also shamanically, when we do on a shamanic journey, regardless of, for example, when we meet a power animal, of what that animal means, if I take a book and I read what's written in the book, we always need to see what does that animal represent to me, because that's the specific case for which he came to my shamanic journey to pass a bespoke message. Then, of course, the book can be a guideline, but we need to apply the teaching, the rule, which is, of course, not a rule, to our personal situation. So in our life, whenever something is happening to us externally, we need always to say, okay, what do I need to understand? Because otherwise that happening that is coming to us, like, for example, there is a leak in the ceiling, there is, and we need to understand exactly where does this happening is coming. Is it at home? Is it where we work? Is it somewhere else? So that is the specific guideline for us to understand. It's not generic that is happening in one place instead of the other one. And we always need to say, okay, what does it mean from an emotional point of view? What is the teaching, the teaching that I need to grab, that I need to catch? In order for me to understand something, so that this thing is sorted out in the quickest possible way. And when I say quickest, it's always divine time. So it can always take long term, middle term, because of course there might be other hidden meaning for us that we need to understand apart from the generic one. And in the same way, when we are getting an imbalance, a disease in our body, what part of our bodies is not feeling well? Because there is always the emotional meaning. It's not that if I'm having pain here or there, it's simply a random part of my body, or it's simply because I'm not eating well. It's all the organs represents an emotional side. And also shamanically, organs are ancestors. They are spirits. So they contain a message, they contain a meaning. So we need to be carefully paying attention to where these things happen to us, because it's just like putting all the pieces of the puzzle together. What is difficult, we have to admit, is to understand the message. Because sometimes we need to go a little bit further. We need to do further readings. But in general, messages are quite simple. They are not complicated. It's not a treasure hunt. So the universe, the divine, however you want to call it, uses simplicity, simple messages to let us understand something. And it uses images because this is something in the middle world, in the external reality that we can see. So we don't need to have particularly sensitive skills in order to understand something, but it's visible. They can be seen with our eyes, they can be touched, they can be smelled, felt. And so whenever something like this is happening, there is a spirit in the event that we need to welcome, that we need to simply consider one of the many adventures of life, instead of just being concerned or angry or annoyed by something and asking ourselves, why to me? Why am I always having bad luck in this time? When is this finishing? Because in this way, we stress the situation. We increase the amount of anxiety and fear that we are creating around the situation. While instead, we always say, okay, spirit of the events, thank you, because it's another opportunity to learn another lesson. And then just carry on. We just face it. We need to do whatever needs to be done. We try to solve the situation as just simply one of the many things that we need to do in our life. So that in that case, our situations flow in a major way, flow in a better way, and we don't make things bigger. So that then we can understand that lesson and move to the next one. Because like everything, there is never a moment when we are, yes, there are moments where we are definitely fine, at peace, but we know that the biggest key is to be at peace inside ourselves. Then externally there will be always opportunities for challenges, for learning something new, and the only way to accept them is to work inside ourselves, to accept that the spirit of that event has to become an ally. It doesn't have to become an enemy, because when there is the spirit is getting angry, it's not ending up in a good way. So we just cooperate with the spirit of the event, we embrace it, we dedicate our challenge to the universe, to our evolution, and we move to the next one.